All right, so the first thing we're going to do is start off with multiplying and dividing radicals. This is going to help us as we move through the rest of this unit. And as we move through actually this whole semester, we're going to be having some instances where we're multiplying and dividing with radicals. So some hints or tips when multiplying and dividing with radicals. You multiply or divide the coefficients. Your coefficients are the numbers on the outside. And your stuff on the radicals, you are going to multiply and divide the stuff that's on the inside. So inside with inside, outside with outside. So for our first example here, we have 3 and 16. So first off, when multiplying, dividing these, just like with adding and subtracting, try to put them in their simplest forms first so that way you're dealing with easier numbers. For example, the square root of 16 is 4. So now I multiply outside with outside. I have a invisible 1 outside the square root of 3. So 4 times 1 is 4. And then the square root of 3 just goes next to it. So just like terms. So outside with outside, inside with inside. Keep them all together. Now I have example 2 here. And again, I could go ahead and multiply the outsides together and the insides together, or I could simplify. There's really not anything to simplify. So never mind. We're just going to go ahead and multiply. So outside with outside, so this turns into 2 times 5. And then inside with inside. So I'm going to keep that square root and say 2 times 6. 2 times 5 is 10. And 2 times 6 is 12. Now here is where we must keep an eye on things. We still want to simplify these radicals. So 12 I can break down into 4 and 3. And that 4 will break down into 2 and 2. And that will give me something to take outside. And this 3 is going to stay on the inside. So my final answer then, 2 times 10 is 20, square root 3. All right, number 3, we've got a lot going on. So as I said, you can go ahead and simplify these first if that makes it easier. So if I simplify or break down some of these, I've got 10, which breaks down into 5 and 2. I've got 12, which breaks down into 3 and 4. Now, since these are all being multiplied together, anything under a square root can be paired together. So we have this 2 and this 2 can go outside. I also have 4, which breaks into 2 and 2. So these can go outside. 5 doesn't have anything to pair with, and 3 doesn't have anything to pair with. So everything on the outside is going to be 4 times 2 times 3. Those are from our original radicals on the outside. And then I have 2 and 2. And then I'm going to multiply 3 and 5 under the radical. So now we go through and work this out. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 3 is 24. 24 times 2 is 48. And 48 times 2 is 96. So 96 and 3 times 5 is 15. All right, now dividing, same idea, but again, you want to reduce as much as you can. Or you can even, one way I like to do this is I'll divide it up. I'll split it off and say 2 over 4 and square root of 3, or square root of 9 over square root of 3. Now, 2 divided by 4 can simplify to 1 over 2. 9 divided by 3 gives us 3 on top over 1. So this just turns into the square root of 3 over 2. So the stuff inside your radicals, divide those from each other. the stuff on the outside, you divide those together. And then put it all together in either a fraction, or if it ends up being a whole number, great, that works too.